Do you want to know the pros and cons of living in Northeast Tennessee? Stay tuned. I'm Tiffany Watts, a local realtor here in the Tri-Cities area with Keller Realty Johnson City. Let's dive into the pros and cons of living here in Northeast Tennessee. Con number one, the weather. It rains a lot here in the Johnson City area. Our annual average of rainfall is 44 inches per year, and the U.S. average is 38 inches. While rain is good and we do need it, we do experience some flash flooding from time to time. Be sure to invest in some rain boots because they are a must. They are so much easier to clean when it gets all muddy and gross outside. That mud tracks in your house and in the car, and even a lot of the snow we get predicted in the winter time ends up just being rain here. Now on the flip side, it can get pretty hot here in the summer. Our July highs are usually mid to upper 80s. It also gets pretty humid here. Maybe not quite as bad as, say, Georgia or Florida down south, but we get our fair share. And I don't know about you, but I hate being cold, and it does get pretty cold here in the winter. We average around 11 inches of snow per year, and our January lows usually range in the mid-20s. Pro number one, weather. I know, weather was a con and now it's a pro. So what? It may rain a lot here. We have hot summers and cold winters, but we get to experience all four seasons. Those cold winters lead to beautiful blooming springs, which include the Garden and Flower festivals and tours. Summers are filled with swimming and outdoor activities, cookouts and fireworks. And then autumn. It boasts pumpkin patches and haunted trails and tours, and of course the beautiful fall foliage. We have some of the most beautiful changing leaf colors around. And then autumn leads to winter again when there's always that chance of having a white Christmas. Con number two, high sales tax. Tennessee is currently ranked one of the highest, if not number one, in sales tax in America. The state portion is 7%, and depending on where you're located in the state, it could be anywhere between 9.5% to 9.75%. And a side note, some counties have what's called a wheel tax, and that's charged during your vehicle registration, and that fee can be anywhere around $50 to $55. Pro number two, affordability. Although Tennessee has one of the highest sales tax around, it actually is one of the most affordable places to live in the United States. There are no state income taxes, and the price of housing and land is much lower than the U.S. average. Tennessee is also lower in the U.S. average on property taxes. Con number three, bad drivers. Unfortunately, it's true, but I have a feeling that this could be a con for any city someone might be considering to relocate to. When we were on active duty, we lived in a few different locations, and everywhere we were, there was always bad drivers. Where are my folks driving Highway 98 down at the Panhandle at? Although we do have some bad drivers here, the good thing is that we don't experience a whole lot of traffic and congestion like some of the bigger cities do, so it's not that bad. Pro number three, mountains. Now this has to be one of my favorite pros. I love living next to the mountains and being able to see the beautiful scenery every single day. Going hiking in the mountains is always a great experience for me because there's always beautiful streams and creeks and even waterfalls to admire. The rolling hills are also a pleasure to view, along with the pastures full of wildflowers. The mountains have so much to offer as far as outdoor activities goes that the possibilities are almost endless. Con number four, the lack of seafood. Now, obviously, we're kind of far from the ocean, so we have a slight lack of seafood here. Now, don't get me wrong, we have some seafood restaurants here, and you can find some in the grocery store, just not as much as maybe you would find in a city near the coast. Now, this one's been personally tough for me after living in Florida for 5 years. I really miss the seafood markets, and I especially miss the Slippery Mermaid. Pro number 4, the food. Though we may lack lots of seafood options here in the area, we do have some other really great food. We've got fresh food. We have a lot of farmers locally, so we're able to get eggs, chicken, beef, lamb, veggies, and fruit. Now, a lot of these farmers will set up at the local farmers markets, and me personally, I go to the Jonesboro Farmers Market. And my favorite stand is the one where there's a man and a woman and they sell fresh baked bread. Now, they also have these pecan pie muffins that are absolutely amazing, and my youngest son loves to get their fresh homemade lemonade. Now, we also have Amish markets here. Now, I love going to Troyer's. That is a market that's located in Limestone, and they have a lot of homemade items such as jams and jellies and cakes and butter and so much more. Also, a lot of the days, Auntie Ruth's Donuts food truck is parked at Troyer's, and they of course have donuts, and they also have homemade pretzels. Now, Krispy Kreme and Auntie Anne's have nothing on them. Now, Troyer's also hosts a food truck night, which is the first Tuesday of every month. And there's always lots of really good options and tons of trucks there to choose from. I personally can't wait to try the lobster truck. I've heard really great things about it, and I'll let you know how it is once I give it a shot. But other than our food trucks and the locally raised and grown food, we also have a lot of restaurants. We have the typical fast food restaurant joints all over the place. We have great dine-in options, and then we have the special mom and pop places, the hole in the wall, that you're not going to find anywhere else, and those are usually the best places to go. Well, that's going to do it for my pros and cons of living in Northeast Tennessee. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comments below, or you can shoot me an email. Thanks.